arguments towards the budget?
Well, first of all, we're in very good hands in the form of the Honorable Penelope Beckles, who really is well known to Trinidad and Tobago as a lady of integrity, trustworthy, balanced, fair, and honest, which is really what the country needs at this time. This clear voice within our parliament, responding to the budget in a balanced and fair manner, but really carrying the voice of the ordinary citizens of Trinidad and Tobago into the People's Chamber. I am looking forward to her presentation and to the debate as it unfolds, where we will hear from both sides, and it affords the population the opportunity to make their own determinations with respect to the provisions within this budget, the value of those provisions, and the trajectory of Trinidad and Tobago over the coming fiscal year.
Sorry to cut you off there. One more quick question. As you know, recently, 2 Trinidadians were reported to be killed in a U.S. airstrike. Do you have a comment on that as a former foreign?
Well, we've been speaking about this consistently. We've sounded a very clear warning from the onset of the military mobilization of the United States of America, advising the government that Trinidad and Tobago needs to consider its position very, very carefully in these matters. In a very cavalier and belligerent fashion, the Prime Minister and her ministers have firmly associated themselves with things like killing them violently, not demanding any evidence, information, detail, location, identification, assistance with remains or anything along those lines. So here we are. Now it has affected our own people. The Prime Minister is dodging the media, not responding to questions. The Minister of Defense and others are now finding themselves hiding on this very fundamental question. When Colombians were reportedly affected, the Prime Minister responded in a very dismissive manner to the President of Colombia. This is not what Trinidad and Tobago is about. We believe in domestic law, international law, maritime law, and it's the first time we found ourselves positioning this country in such an unfortunate manner within CARICOM and within the hemisphere. I'm hoping better sense would prevail. The Prime Minister and the government will adjust their rhetoric and the foreign policy position to be more in line with the principles and standards of Trinidad and Tobago and the United Nations Charter.
And do you think this would hurt the international relations between Trinidad and Tobago and its regional and international?
Absolutely. We're on the eve of a campaign to sit on the United Nations Security Council. When we've made ourselves a satellite state and farmed out our foreign policy and associating ourselves with matters that are very questionable with respect to consistency with international law, that damages our profile and our prospects within CARICOM, within the hemisphere, and across the world. We want better. We must demand better for Trinidad and Tobago, while at the same time supporting lawful, robust action against the narcotics trade. You can have both things. You don't have to break the law to advance the law.
Would you consider it as extrajudicial killings, the death of the 2 Trinidadians?
Well, unless someone can point us to judicial process, application of evidence, interdiction, arrests, etc., then obviously these are extrajudicial proceedings inconsistent with international law. That is obvious.